Hello there and welcome. My name is Jacqueline and this is the Sewing Parlor. This is the space where I sew and where I share my sewing makes. Today I'm going to go over my WIPs, my work in progress that I got done at the tail end of 2022. So if that interests you, go ahead and get yourself something to sip on, something to munch on, and let's get started. Alrighty, so as part of my Make 9 plans for 2022, I had on there a WIP, work in progress, that I had cut out. I had done all the markings, I had put it in a box, and I stashed it away, and I hadn't worked on it since then. This was something I cut out, I want to say, this was 2017, so 5.5 years ago. I know because it was during my pregnancy with my first child. And it's one of the things I wanted to get done for part of my Make 9, and that is 6592. And what I had done was view D. It is a Peplum style top, and a Peplum style is a silhouette that I just love in general, but I thought this would be a good top to wear after giving birth back in April. It's a little bit more forgiving, and it has that fit and flare style that I just love. I did reduce the amount of cuff just to fit my proportions a little bit better. I knew that long of a flounce was just going to be too much of a nuisance for me. I don't like things typically like to be super drapey around my wrist, so I just shortened that a little bit so it can be a little bit, it just fits my lifestyle just a little bit better, and also fits my proportions better as well. A couple of other alterations that I did have to do. So because this is a Peplum style, I had expected the fit and flare style. However, this pattern was pretty wide. It was pretty boxy. So I ended up taking a little bit out of the side seams. I didn't do anything to the center front or the center back. I just graded in a little bit on the side seams, and I kept the flare of the skirt portion the same. So it just was able to just be nipped in just a little bit. Another thing that I did have to alter is my shoulders typically, and my back is what I have to adjust when it comes to back pattern pieces. I did shave off about 1/2 inch off the sleeve. I have square shoulders, but I'm pretty narrow. And then, so I just had to do that to better meet my proportions. And then also for the back, the center back, so right where you sew up the center back seam to the dot, and then it splits off into where you can do the closure, right to that dot to the closure top where you put the button, I could grab the fabric, and I had about 4 inches that I could just pull out like that. That was just excess. So it was kind of strange, I guess. So I did make this piece out of a apparel cotton. So funny enough, you can actually still get this exact fabric at Hobby Lobby. That's where I got it. I saw it there the other day. So if you happen to like this fabric, that you can find it at Hobby Lobby still. I just love the mustard color background, and then the popcorn style flowers. I was a little apprehensive while putting this together with the split sleeve, because as I was trying it on, as you can tell, the fabric kind of bows out a little bit. It was a lot more apparent, but I have washed it since then. So I'm sure with time and wearing and washing that the material will just relax a little bit more. It is 100% cotton. It's not as thick as the quilting cotton, but it still has a pretty good structure to it. So I'm pretty pleased with this make. Even with the alterations that I did have to do, this was a pretty smooth, fast-going project. So for the month of December, as you all know, everybody loves to do the Vlogmas videos, and the sewing community, does so as well. And as much as I would love to do Vlogmas, I just know how much time and effort that goes into those, and I just knew it wasn't in the cards for me this past December. Maybe in the future, but I still wanted to do something every day for a challenge, um, just to feel a little bit more connected and to challenge myself in that same sense. So I thought, well, if I could just set aside some time every day to sew, um, or to do something sewing related, that would be good enough for me. And then I would just post what I was doing. So I just came up with the hashtag 25 days of Taskmas. And again, it's just 25 minutes minimum of sewing or something sewing related. And some days I was actually able to get 3 to 4 hours done, after the kids have gone to bed. But some days the 25 minutes was was actually quite a challenge. So, but I was able to get this garment done within the first 10 to 12 days of Taskmas. And that just proved to me that as long as I make sewing a priority, I can actually get my sewing projects done a little bit quicker, because I am a slow sewist, just as is, but I tend to typically struggle with um, prioritizing my sewing time with raising 3 small children. So this just proved to me that I can still get it done. So if you go over to my Instagram handle at the Sewing Parlor, you'll be able to see a highlighted reel of my 25 days of Taskmas, and there you can just check out what I had gotten done all throughout the first 25 days. I had cut out fabric. I did a lot of prep work for future projects, so cutting out the pattern pieces, and of course just sewing in general. But I'm really happy with this make. This is something that I'm definitely going to wear time and time again. It's definitely my style. Anything with a bow, I'm just in love with. So this was a really happy make. But on to the next whip. So this next whip was actually quite a surprise. I was going through a craft box and looking for something else, and I came across this shirt. This is something that I had sewn up almost completely done back in, I want to say it was fall 2014. Um, but for some reason, I didn't finish it. It needed buttonholes and buttons. It needed to serge the inside seams, and then just a little bit of slip stitching. I was pleased as punch to find this because it was practically done, and I'm not sure why I had stashed it away. I mean, I have moved 3 or 4 times since making this, so it was just probably something that got lost in the mix and the shuffle of moving and through storage. So, anyways, I love this, and the best part is after I'd finished all of the remaining touches, it still fits. So that was a super win in my book. So, anyways, this is actually a pretty popular pattern. It's 1538, and I did view B. I did take a pocket from view D just to put it on the right side, um, but I ultimately did view B, and it does have a back yoke and a gathered center back seam. But again, this is something that's my style, that is still my style, even though I put this together a couple years ago. Sometimes you lose interest in certain silhouettes or garments, but obviously this is a button-down shirt, so those are always classic. And that's why I liked this. I want to say it's a calico cotton. I'm not 100% sure, but I do know that I got it at Joann's. Um, I I do remember for some reason I needed more fabric, and I went back to Joann's, maybe to make the other pocket. But I went back to Joann's to get it, and I guess that location that I shopped it at was completely out of it. So I'm sure you can't find it at the store anymore. I did double check on their website, and I hadn't come up with anything, haven't seen anything in store. So, anyways, another awesome super make, and I'm just surprised that it got lost. Poor thing got left behind, but it's here now, and she still fits, and it's just another awesome make that I'm gonna wear time and time again. Okay, so that's it for today. I do have a couple of other makes that I gotten done throughout my time, my kind of leave of absence from YouTube. Again, if you don't know, I gave birth back in April, and I hadn't made a video until the last 2 weeks of December. So I had a lot of time off from YouTube, but I was still pretty busy. Obviously with the new baby, and then I have a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old. So it's been busy in that sense, but I also have been I've been keeping on with the sewing, and I've gotten some things done. I will make a couple more videos discussing those makes, and at the end of the month I will put together my Make 9 plans for the year. So I hope you look forward to that. Again, my name is Jacqueline, and if you like this video, hit like. If you want to subscribe, please subscribe, and go ahead and hit that notification bell. That way you know exactly when I upload next. But until I sew again, have a good one.